From the high desert Southwest and an indiscreet shave den located in the deep recesses of Ouch's basement, broadcasting north from McMurdo Sound to Ice Station Zebra and east and west across all time zones to our members throughout the world, this is Badger and Blade Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be on this big blue marble we call home. And thanks for joining us for our July 10th edition of B&B Shave Radio. On deck for tonight's show, we have news and events around BadgerandBlade.com, our mail call segment, as well as a Vendor Spotlight interview with Ron from Groomatorium. And yes, you've been waiting for it, the poll results from the shave soaps versus shave creams. And quite frankly, it was a blowout. So stay tuned for that. So grab a beverage, sit back, relax, and we'll be right back to start the show.
Now, the Lone Ranger.
Shaving makes my face feel like it's been in a knockdown fight with an outlaw. That's why I'm glad there's a skin conditioner in Aqua Velva. Right, Tano?
That's right, Kimasabi. Aqua Velva does more than just smell nice. It makes face feel like quiet lake, cool and smooth.
Well said, Tano.
Aqua Velva. It does a lot more than just smell nice.
We're going to open up the show this evening here on B&B Radio, which airs every 2 weeks on www.badgerandblade.com. We are extremely excited and honored to welcome our brand new supporting vendor with us, and Ron Wiebe from Groomatorium. Ron, welcome to the show.
Dave, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Fantastic. And Ron, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you entered the traditional shaving retail space, and what got you started in this whole fun thing.
You know, it's 100% accidental. I started wet shaving around 2013. And when I entered the wet shaving world, there wasn't nearly as many options as there are now. I found that a lot of the shaving creams and aftershaves were either the old traditional scents that had been around for ages, like your Brute or Clubman's. And, you know, the artisan stuff was mostly Gourmands at the time, or very simple blends of 2 or 3 essential oils. And that just didn't really suit me because I'd like traditionally masculine scents like tobaccos and leathers and such things. So since I'd been tinkering with making my own scents for several years already, I stumbled across LA Shaving Company's post on how to make shaving soap on Badger and Blade, and was like, hey, this sounds like something I could do. Mm-hmm. So I started making some for myself, and word got out on Reddit, and I thought I'd end up selling a couple here and there to Reddit, but it ended up being a side job, which, when I got laid off, ended up as my full-time job. Wow. And what did you do for a living prior to this? I've bounced around a lot. The last thing I did was I was a project coordinator for an electrical contractor, basically just passing paperwork between engineers and the contractors to make sure that they were on the same page.
Wow. Well, boy, that turned out to be perfect then. And it's amazing how Badger and Blade can launch things like that as far as shave soaps and stuff like that. Now, I'm sure you get this question all the time because with your website being Groomatorium, and then also you have Chiseled Face Groomatorium. I assume these are all the same thing, correct?
Well, yes and no. I started up as Chiseled Face and was just planning on making soaps for that. And the longer I was in this, and especially once I went full-time, I found out there was more different things that I wanted to do. And Chiseled Face, getting the reputation that it has of being strictly a masculine, very traditional company, was beginning to limit me a little bit. So I started Groomatorium as a platform for multiple endeavors so I can branch out and carry other people's products, as well as introduce a couple of new brands of my own.
Now, I notice with the website and everything else that, you know, you're one of the few supporting vendors that actually makes a product, but also sells other artisan products and other vendor products as well. Do you find that positions you in kind of a good position all the way around to be able to have your own product out in the market, as well as being able to offer some of the other products to the wet shaving community?
It really does. As a producer of products myself, I believe it helps me understand the artisans that I carry better. And, it's really nice building a relationship with people other than as a competitor. Sometimes, the artisan community has been super great, super supportive, but sometimes it can feel a little bit, as your competitor. And becoming a retailer is really nice because I can reach out to all these artisans and support them while I'm supporting myself as well.
Exactly. And one thing that I'm somewhat of a frag head, as they say, and I've noticed, in fact, I just recently gave you some of my money recently, with the collaboration between you and zoology. And for the members that don't know who zoologists are, is it's a fantastic fragrance house that uses nature and the animals within nature to get their fragrances. And they're probably some of the most complex fragrances I've ever smelled or had. And I was really excited when I found out that you were actually doing the soaps. Tell us a little bit about that collaboration and how you found Zoologist.
I stumbled across Zoologist somewhere online. Someone wrote a blurb about them, and just reading the fragrance notes, they kind of spoke to me because I love fragrances, but I'm really particular. I tend to like bolder, as I said before, bolder, darker, more masculine scents. And that's something that most fragrance houses steer clear from. So when I saw Zoologist's lineup, I had to get a sampler pack. I got their sampler pack and was just blown away by how fantastic these fragrances were. And, I struck up a conversation with Victor, who runs it, and, introduced the idea of making soaps for him. And he was familiar with wet shaving, but he was very skeptical that anything in that price tier would have large acceptance.
Sure.
And, it took a while. It took me, I think it was about a year and a half, before he's like, okay, let's give it a try. We'll do 1 scent and see how it goes. So 3 months ago, I introduced Rhino, and it just took off.
Yeah, there was many of us. Yeah, there were many of us that didn't click on the button fast enough.
Yes, it's funny because it took a while for word to get out. It was available for about 5 days. I thought I'd have enough for about a month and a half.
Sure.
But it was available for about 5 days, and then after it was all purchased, reviews started coming out, and people just started emailing me saying, "Hey, where can we get some of this stuff?" So, with Civet, I learned my lesson. I did a pre-order first so that I had a bit more stock, so it wasn't instantly sold out.
Sure. Now, are you planning on doing and introducing some of the other scents that Zoologist has?
Yes, our plan is to, every 2 months, to introduce a new scent from Zoologist. And so this month is Panda, and pre-order for that is going to be coming up here actually this weekend on Saturday.
Okay.
And we're going to be working through the entire lineup. Every 2 months, a new one's going to come out until we've done all of them.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I'm sure some of the members are probably asking now, are you going to be reintroducing some of the scents that had already sold out, such as Rhino, down the road?
That is definitely the plan, but that is going to be either late next year or possibly even early the next.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I can tell you, and I don't know if you've been following my stuff, but I've been using the Civet shave soap for the last 3 days. And the reason why it was 3 days in a row is we've kind of formed a small shaving roundtable that is actually doing a test between straight razors, single edge, double edge, hybrids, feather type, and we're going to kind of get together and see how the results are to see which is kind of the best shaving system. And so to eliminate a lot of variables, we wanted to use, the same software. And normally I would have used the same software for the entire 18 days or so, but the Civet was sitting there yelling at me saying, "You better use me quick." So I used it for the last 3 days in conjunction with an unscented balm that I actually put a couple of drops of the Civet parfum in. And then, of course, the fragrance. And I got to tell you, it is absolutely unbelievable. And, thinking as Zoologist is that it reminds me a lot of one of our former forum moderators who actually went out, and you may be familiar with A City on Fire, with imaginary authors. Their perfume line. There's a lot of similarities between zoologists and how daring and how bold they are with their scents. Because I'm like you, I like the bold scents that you take a chance on. And I've got to tell you, the latherability. And for those B&B members that are interested, we did a spotlight review of the civet shave soap from Chiseled Face that is up on the forum now, and you can read that full review. And it is just a stupendous soap. And it's like your other ones with Ghost Town Barber. And the one thing that I want the members to understand that may have not been exposed to your stuff is the uniqueness of the scents, because after a while, obviously in the shave soap market, there's so many, everybody's got a barbershop scent, but these are unique and have a very special, for lack of a better term, a very special flavor. What brought you to create those uniqueness that's unlike some of the other things in the market?
It's kind of a difficult thing to answer. It's just, with fragrances, they're so personal. And, I try to draw from my experiences, my background, and to create scents that resonate with me. And I feel that if I can create a scent that resonates with me, that there's surely others that have a similar background or have had similar experiences or memories that, the same thing will resonate with them. Like Ghost Town Barber, I actually did that one. My dad, growing up, was always into the cowboy lifestyle. He was never a cowboy, but, he was always into the cowboy lifestyle with the big belt buckles and the big hats. And,
sure.
That was always with me growing up. And, just part of my childhood. And so I was traveling, and we visited one of the old ghost towns in Phoenix, I believe. And, it just saw it all come together, the things, the influences that I've been raised under, and saw it all come together as to what it actually was back then.
Sure.
And this would be a great shaving soap if I just took some of these notes and some of these experiences that I'm seeing here and put it all together in a shaving soap, and it just kind of came together as Ghost Town Barber.
Well, and I've got to tell you, Ghost Town Barber was the first scent that I had from your organization, and it immediately reminded me of Tombstone, and that means a lot. For those that don't know, I reside in the Southwest, about 40 miles from Tombstone. I've always been involved in the cowboy lifestyle. In fact, I take part in what they call Desperado or Eldorado days in Tombstone, where everybody dresses up like Wyatt Earp or stuff like that, and it's a huge thing.
Nice.
And the funny thing is, they do have an old-time barber shop there, and immediately the first time I used it, I thought of that. And so that, you nailed it. That's the best way that I can say it is you nailed it, which is really neat. Now, aside from the different scents and stuff, what do you feel, and I know this is a subjective question, but what do you feel is unique about the product line that Groomatorium and Chiseled Face offer to the traditional wet shaver?
With as crowded as the shaving marketplace has become, there's very little that's really unique anymore. Basically what I recommend customers to do, and now that I carry a wide variety, it makes it even easier. But I just kind of recommend people to find what speaks to them, a company that resonates with them, either if they know and like the owner, or if their ideology fits theirs, or, everyone has different allergies or different preferences. To just find whatever works for them and to use that, whether it's my products or whether it's one of the other artisans. As to something that's, blatantly unique, I don't know that there really is much that's super unique, but I do try to make the best product I can and make it as naturally as possible. Fragrances, there's limitations where you have to use some synthetic products, but, you just try to make something that's as good for you as possible, as natural as possible, and, use recycled packaging whenever you can, and tread lightly, and just do the best you can for each other and for the planet.
Sure. Well, and I think that shows in your product and your marketing and stuff like that. Now, I understand that recently, I'm not sure how recent, that you've actually moved into a retail space where actually people can actually come visit your store as well, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. In January, I finalized the lease on a 4,000 square foot downstairs, and I've got a 2,000 square foot shop upstairs. retail space here in Southern California. And, it's been really great. People that you only interact with on the internet, and also they'll be traveling through. I actually just had someone over here from Tucson, I believe. Yes, Tucson,
great.
Arizona. They just stopped in because they're traveling through, and just to see the look on people's faces when they finally get to sniff everything that they've only read about online.
Sure.
Words are only so descriptive when it comes to scents. Everyone perceives things completely differently. So it's just really rewarding when people come in and get to sniff stuff. I mean, oftentimes a customer comes in, it'll take them 2 hours to smell all the things that they want to smell, but it's really rewarding to be able to provide that opportunity for people.
Well, and it's neat because, like you said, the majority of the items that we now have in the traditional shaving world are purchased on the internet. And you're right, not a lot of times, unless there's a shave meetup or something like that, do we get to go to a retail space. Now, are you keeping normal what I would call business hours where people can come, or do they need to call in advance? How does that work?
No, I'm here every day, basically from 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 p.m. Close an hour early on Wednesdays. But, I'm here Monday through Saturday, and it's been great.
Well, would you like to go ahead, and for those people that are traveling through California or those members in California, would you like to give your address?
Absolutely, that'd be great. I'm on 521 North Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California. It's actually funny, I moved to Ontario, California from Ontario, Canada. But, I'm in Ontario, California, and I'm right on Euclid. So it's one of the main streets in Ontario. So I was really fortunate to be able to be right on a main street, and there's easy parking here. So, anybody that is in the area, just stop by and say that you're from Badger and Blade, and, I'd love to see you.
Oh, fantastic. I think you'll have a lot of our California members. In fact, I know of one member, one of my good friends, CB Lindsay, who lives not too far away from you. And I think that what he's going to ask you to probably do is just have a locker where he can store his wallet. And then, he can just kind of get his wallet out when he's there each and every time. Exactly. Yeah. If you offer direct deposit, it's sold. That's fantastic. And it's so much fun to see somebody who has, for lack of a better term, fallen into what turned out to be a wonderful career. Whether you're faith driven or not, it goes to show you that fate sometimes can steer itself into where you're doing something you love. And that old adage is true. If you love what you're doing, you're not in a job. You're just
exactly.
having fun. Now, finally tonight, Ron, anything you'd like to say to the members of Badger and Blade?
I would. First off, I want to thank you all for welcoming me so much. It was really, really rewarding when I finally joined in and got that welcome thread going, and everyone's coming in there and saying, "Hey, welcome, good to see you here." It was, really, it was great. And the other thing I'd like to say is, I think us as men, we're naturally competitive, and sometimes it almost seems a little bit detrimental. Newcomers come to the hobby, and instead of just directing them to a good, comfortable shave that you can get with a fantastic beginner set for $30 or so, we have a tendency to kind of show off and say, "Oh yeah, I've got this great big shaving den," and I'm afraid it scares them off sometimes.
Sure.
And it's just, I think it's important for us to, instead of trying to push people into a hobby, to just show people the way to a better shave. And, if they want to go get into the hobby, fantastic. But, it shouldn't be a thing that people do out of peer pressure, but just something that evolves naturally.
Well, it's funny when you mention that, because I'm sitting here cowering, because I don't know if you've seen, but in the clubs and brotherhoods, there is a thread called the Central Enablement Center, and we have operatives. And so when you were talking about that, I'm thinking, oh man, I feel really guilty now, because we do. You're right. I think all of us have that tendency to invite people in because this hobby can get to the point where you've just got excess. Now, that's not necessarily bad as long as it doesn't go crazy.
It's not.
But
it's not a bad thing if you do it for you.
Sure.
I'm just afraid sometimes that people do it for other people,
Right.
just to impress someone else or to, but I mean, I have a huge shave den myself, and I like it, and I don't regret it.
Right.
But it's something that people need to do for themselves if they want to do it for themselves, and not something that they need to be pressured into. And that's what I feel important. I love talking shaving with people, and you run out of things to talk about if you don't have much to, if you've got a tiny den, you can only talk about Todd Sandalwood so long.
Well, well, it's funny you mentioned that because, like I was, I had been, traditional shaving for years. Then, of course, fell into carts and electrics and, did that whole thing and came back. And the first razor I had was a Vanderhagen, which I guess is a Waiishi clone for lack, and it was like $9 or something like that. And then I found Badger and Blade, and the rest is, checkbook history, as they say. And then about 3 years ago, I got into straights, and then I never looked back from there. Now that's a deep rabbit hole, just like anything else. But, currently some of us in what we call our cadre, we have 200 to 300 soaps. We'll never use them in an entire lifetime, but we're also the type that, the variety, it's kind of neat to be able to get up every morning and say, what am I going to shave with today? And that was kind of the onus behind, this whole shaving roundtable thing, is to say, okay, let's shave with a bunch of different systems and see which one that we think is the best and get 4 or 5 guys to do the same thing. And what I think is exciting with the retailers that are coming out, such as yourself, is that if you can't find something you like in today's retail shaving space, something's wrong with you, because there are so many variables. And it's funny because my wife actually got involved into wet shaving, which makes it great for me when I go out and buy stuff, but because I always buy 2. That's my excuse anyways. But she even noticed a difference that, oh my man, you can get natural stuff that makes your skin feel good. And for gentlemen, shaving was always a chore. You get up, early in the morning, you shave, you get out the door, you go to work. Now I think what's happening...
Absolutely, I hated it.
Yeah, and I think men now are starting to say, hey, you know what? We can have a spa time just like anybody else. And for me now, do I get up a little earlier? Yeah, I do. But I can spend 30 to 45 minutes enjoying myself and it really starts my day. And with products like yours and some of the offerings that are available, this hobby, I think, is really in its infancy. I really do. I think that things are going to get bigger and better, as the more and more artisans come out with different stuff. And I think opening up a retail space is important, because even for those people that are in California, they can go right to you. But now it gives us a destination for those of us that may be going to Disneyland. Oh, well, hey, wait a minute. We need to stop and see Ron because it's on the way. And I think that's important. And I think that Badger and Blade and you, the vendors who support Badger and Blade, is very important. And I cannot thank you enough for becoming a sponsoring vendor at Badger and Blade. And we want to remind all the Badger and Blade members to make sure that you visit his internet store as well as his vendor store here on Badger and Blade. So, Ron, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just, it's a great hobby to be in. I mean, I'm not knocking the hobby. It's a wonderful, clean hobby, and I'm just privileged to be a part of it. It's been great. I've met a lot of people that I would have never met otherwise, and the different experiences that you run into, and the different scents that you smell, and the different people that you meet. It's just fantastic, and I'm just honored to be a part of it, and I'm really thankful that I can be a part of Badger and Blade as well.
Well, Ron, once again, thank you for taking time out of your day. I know as a business owner, as I am myself, sometimes it's hard to put, 29 hours into a 24-hour day. So we certainly do appreciate you taking the time. And most importantly, we really appreciate you supporting Badger and Blade.
It's my privilege.
Great. Thank you, and have a good day.
You too. Thanks so much.
Above the Tie Grooming and More, an internet retailer based in Tennessee, brings you a unique offering in the traditional shaving world. Stainless steel and aluminum artisan-made razors that will last a lifetime, proudly manufactured right here in the USA. Bulletproof construction and almost perfect engineering tolerances ensure any razor you purchase from Above the Tie Grooming and More will provide the right shave and the best shave each and every day. The Atlas, Kronos, Colossus, and Bamboo are the backbone of a line of razors that offer limitless variety of customization. Single edge, gem style, double edge safety bar, and open comb all can be ordered, offering a truly customizable experience, including the ability to order just the shave heads, bases, and handles of your choice. Can't decide? Then take advantage of one of the 7-piece and 5-piece complete razor systems to take the level of customization even further to suit your specific needs. Like the lightweight of aluminum? Then try the Calypso or the Bamboo, offering colored, anodized parts to suit your tastes. Again, all Above the Tie Grooming and More razors are made right here by dedicated artisans in the USA, from either 303 solid stainless steel or aircraft grade 7075 aluminum to ensure the utmost in quality. Need more? Above the Tie Grooming offers a complete line of Merkur razors for the budget conscious, as well as shaving accessories from various manufacturers and artisans, including blades, soaps, aftershaves, travel cases, and more. So, for that one-of-a-kind razor system, including an unmatched customer service razor guarantee, your razor from Above the Tie Grooming and More is sure to become a family heirloom. And for all of your shaving needs, visit Above the Tie Grooming and More at www.abovethetie.com. Please remember, we're offering free shipping on all orders over $75. That's www.abovethetie.com. We'd like to thank Stan and the staff of Above the Tie Razors for sponsoring our news and events section for the show this week, and please make sure that you visit his vendor store right here at www.badgerandblade.com. So here's some news and events that are going around badgerandblade.com right now. If you're into the shooting sports, please join Chris, the forum steward, for some great threads and stuff about firearms. Do you like coffee? Join Turtle for a nice cup of joe and good conversation in the cafe forum. Also, the Sue Moore Memorial Auction will be here before you know it, October 19th, and the auction runs for 3 days. Donations will begin in August, so please make sure you check out for the Sue Moore thread in the General Shave Discussion Forum. Our friend Phil is running a newbie PIF over in the Shave Clinic, a newbie check-in forum. Please check it out, and that PIF will be running through July 21st, so please head on over there to check out all the rules. The Mess Hall Cookout of July was the summer picnic. It just ended, so check out what they did over in the Mess Hall with some great pictures and some great recipes. Now, I am very proud of this. In my formerly nicotine-stained hands, I was running a PIF over in the Brownleaf, and it just ended for a bunch of pipe and tobacco-type items. And congrats to Doug57. It's exactly been 1 month and a half since I quit smoking, and boy, do I feel good. So thanks for all the well wishes on staying smoke-free. Well, here it is, folks. You wanted to know about it, and it was a blowout. If you remember the last show, we had a debate between the Shave Cream Forum and the Shave Soap Forum. And then we put up a poll to see what you guys thought. Well, quite honestly, it was a blowout. So, B&B has decided, for at least for the members here on B&B that were in the poll, 74% favoring shave soaps, with only 8% of those who voted preferring shave creams. Now, we did have some guys that were Switzerland. 17% chose to use both. I think we can call this one, folks. So, shave soaps are the preferred method of shaving medium for Badger and Blade members. But remember, this was all done in tongue-in-cheek, and you use what you want to. Once again, we'd like to thank Chad and Eric and all the guys that commented. It was one of the most lively threads that we had in the video library forum since its inception, and we certainly appreciate that. And we're going to do more things just like this, including a shave roundtable, where we're going to be reviewing different subjects, different razors, different myths, and so forth. So please stay tuned for that in the next coming months. So that's it for our news and events. Stay tuned, and we'll be back right after this. Since 2009, Bull Goose Shaving Supplies has been providing the best in shaving products to the discerning traditional shaver, carrying shave soaps, creams, aftershaves, fragrances, razors, and accessories from many of the top manufacturers, as well as unique and artisan shave products from around the world. Bull Goose Shaving Supplies also carries its very own product of shave soaps, custom brushes, and razors under the Asylum Shaveworks brand, including the one-of-a-kind Asylum RX single-edge razor, the Asylum Evolution, an homage to the 1930s Darwin, and coming soon to Bull Goose, the Paradigm Titanium double-edge razor. Bull Goose Shaving Supplies is your one-stop shop for bath and shower, as well as all personal grooming accessories. Looking for that special gift or storage solution? We have that too. With lightning-quick order fulfillment, wonderful customer service, and an easy-to-navigate website, you can get everything you need at Bull Goose Shaving Supplies. www.bullgooseshaving.com. That's www.bullgooseshaving.com. We'd like to thank Phil and the staff of Bull Goose Shaving for sponsoring our mail call segment here at B&B Radio. Well, as we open up the mailbag, our first letter is from, yes, you got it, the mind of Ford Father. As you may or may not be aware, Montana had a 5.6 to 5.8 earthquake this week. Well, Dane wanted to let us know what really happened. So after the earthquake was over, the state lit a cigarette, or in this case a Virginia Slim, and thanked Dane. Yes, I will let you ponder that for a moment. Well, and also, Dane's medications were shorted this week from the pharmacy, so we can understand why. So thank you, Dane. As always, we appreciate your comments. Also, do you know we have a Facebook page? Yes, we do. If you have not liked it yet, please go on over to Facebook at our Badger and Blade page and like us. Each and every day we do have a focused thread of the day that we put up there, as well as all other types of information. Well, it has been a little bit quiet around the post office this week, probably due to the 4th of July, and we do have some upcoming shows that we'll be starting to have. One of them is a shave roundtable. We will have different members that will be invited to be a part of this shave roundtable, and we will be testing different products, dispelling myths, or just doing some fun things regarding shaving software, hardware, and so forth. This first shave roundtable, there's always been the age-old adage of what shave system gives the best overall shave. Well, what we're going to do is over the next month, we are going to be testing those, and that is straight razors, DE razors, SE razors, feather style razors, and then the hybrid, which some people call a feather style DE. And, of course, cartridges. Now, each member of the Shave Roundtable is experienced in using these shave products, and will be doing 3 shaves with the software being somewhat the same to eliminate error variables. Now, we will have a Shave Roundtable in August that will give the final results, so please stay tuned for that. Which system will be on top? Find out in August right here on B&B Radio. Well, that wraps up the mailbag. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back to finish up the show.
Aye, mateys, ha ha ha, Captain No-Beard here. You know, managing a pirate ship can be stressful, and it can be hard to find time for myself, except for my daily morning shave. To give myself that wonderful shave experience, I use Captain's Choice products. The quality of the soaps, creams, and aftershaves and balms are top-notch for my daily parlay with my face. Plus, they have wonderful accessories including lather bowls, one-of-a-kind soap lockers, and brushes. My favorite is the cat o' nine tails. Oh, what a burn. But all the products are treasures. So nice are my morning shaves that it transforms me into a true gentleman for a time before having to become a pirate again. So, if you are looking for the best in shave products, look no further. Anchor up and get your treasure at CaptainsChoiceStore.com. Yo ho, it's Captain's Choice for me.
Captain's Choice Products, www.CaptainsChoiceStore.com. We'd like to thank Scott and the staff of Captain's Choice Products for sponsoring our final segment of the evening. Please don't forget to visit his forum vendor store right here at www.badgerandblade.com. As we close out this week's show, we've got some news. Yes, Dangerous Dawn had been running a hanging strop pith, and we have a winner announced. That is Wild West 74, Jim. Congratulations, Jim. We're sure you'll enjoy that strop as much as Dawn enjoyed giving it away. And as we close out the show for tonight, just a reminder to new members, don't forget to go into the check-in and Hall of Fame to introduce yourself, get to know some of the folks here at badgerandblade.com, and it's the best place to ask questions when you're brand new. Also, again, please check out our vendor stores right here at badgerandblade.com. About halfway down the page, if you scroll, all of our vendors have their own stores right here on badgerandblade.com. Again, we'd like to thank Phil from Bull Goose, Stan from AT&T, and Scott from Captain's Choice Products for taking part in our advertising program. We have more and more vendors coming on board as we speak, and we certainly want to thank them for being the first in line. As always, we'd like to thank the Mods and the Stews for all they do each and every day. Remember, these positions are voluntary, so please make sure that if you see a mod, see a steward, just say hello, thank them, and ask questions. That's what they're there for. And they're here to make your experience at B&B even better. We'd also like to thank the admins and the owners for bringing us Badger and Blade and keeping up and running with this great new software package. Most importantly, we'd like to thank you, the member. You are the lifeblood of B&B, and we appreciate you being here and supporting BadgerandBlade.com each and every day. Don't forget to plan to join us for our next episode, which will be on July 24th, and also join us on YouTube, podcast, and Facebook. I have been your host, Dave, aka SkyPsyd, here on Badger and Blade Shave Radio, and we'll see you all next time. Badger and Blade Radio is a production of B&B Video Productions in association with SkyPsyd Video. All rights reserved, 2017.